Hi guys, how are you? Hi everybody, how are you today? Okay, so I wasn't going to work today. I was just going to take the day off. I've been really tired. Sometimes when I work too hard, I haven't had a weekend off in a couple weeks. And so I wasn't going to work. But then I got on the phone with V because we all seen the Jason Armon thing go down.
Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it?
It was sad. It was really sad.
Rumbling in the jungle.
And so we were just talking to each other. And I was like, hey, why don't we come on to us, say what we were saying behind the scenes and then let other people come up and share their opinion. Because for me, it was sad. It was a disgrace to Black people all over. They already think we don't know how to act. And they're up there clowning. I think that mistakes were made on both sides, but I have a tendency to lean towards Jason. And let me tell you why I have a tendency to learn towards Jason, because there's two sides to every story. We heard Armon's side. He put on a show last night. He's burning books and doing the dance and bing, bing, bing. Yeah, he put on a show. He clowned. Armon clown. That's what he's doing. He's putting on a show. And that must I remind every blogger that the chat, they don't know you like that. This is entertainment. This is entertainment. So the more you clown or make somebody laugh or try to humiliate somebody, they love it.
Yeah.
And Armon put on a show. Armon is talented. We cannot take that away from him. He's going to, thank you guys, sorry. He's going to be
banner.
My banner. Armon is going to be very successful. But nobody is successful without going through certain steps. And when I started, so I got almost 400,000 subscribers. That's not starting out, but it's not the top of the top either. I still got a lot to learn.
Right.
I fought for every single subscriber that I have. Hold on, let me do this. I fought. It's no easy job. Like this is the way I look at it. Celebrity blogging is a different sector of entertainment. It's the entertainment business, a different sector, but almost the same thing. Mm-hmm. You got to watch how you present things, and it's show business. So that means that you have to have both to make it. You have to have a business head and you have to have talent. I've seen so many talented people not make it because they don't have a business head.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a business head, you keep working till you work on your talent. But one doesn't go without the other. People say show business. And let's say you're one of those people that luck up and you find success right away. You still got to go through the necessary steps. So I just feel like mistakes were made on both sides. So here I am. I'm a medium blogger, not big, not the beginning. Enough to help people out and help them start a career. When you find a certain amount of success, and this is, we'll go head up. We'll go head up on this. There's no such thing as a friend anymore. I could go weeks without anybody calling me, asking me, how are you doing? People always want something from you. And when I first started out, I wasn't thinking about, I'm going to make it to, that was not on my mind. I was a housewife that thought, oh my God, this is interesting. I can make a lot of money doing this. I wasn't thinking career. So I had to learn every mistake the hard way. Every single mistake the hard way. I was friendly. I wanted to help everybody. You guys know how many people I brought on my panel. Hey, you're a nice person. Come on my panel. I would say out of the 12 people that I had brought on my panel throughout the years, only one person told me thank you. When in between me starting out as a blogger, all of a sudden, I would say about 3 years ago, it blew up. Everybody wanted to be a blogger. Everybody had a channel. So when I started out, the talent stayed on TV and we were the bloggers. Now everybody has a channel. Kanye just opened one yesterday. Nobody listened, but he opened it up. Everybody's trying to make money blogging. So that makes it extremely competitive. And some people don't want to work to get where they are. They want instant fame. So, especially like Armon. Armon knows he's talented. He knows it. And so he's like, I can't wait to get, I want to do this. I got this. Yeah, you are talented, but there's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. I mean, I'm going to play these tapes really quick because everyone's saying, what are you talking about? There are people in the chat that don't know what I'm talking about. But for me right now, Armon can use a little bit of humble pie. When you burn bridges like that and you make sure a person never, ever wants to deal with you again, your job becomes harder. And this is like the second time he didn't publicly burn bridges. I don't understand it. You might not like somebody, but when you do that, when you tell you to F off and blow and burn up the bridge, well, people don't realize that comes back to haunt you. You're making enemies out there. It's just so much. We're going to go at it. Let me play this for V. Okay, so Jason Lee went on his channel. So, okay, Jason Lee made mistakes too. They both made mistakes. Jason Lee, you have to remember, there is no such thing as a friend anymore. So you go to somebody and you ask them to help you with your equipment. That relationship probably should have stopped there. But you decided to bring him into your circle, to bring, I don't know, he said they were at some banquet or whatever. You brought him in. You didn't have to do that. He was probably thankful for it at first. And then when he's seen, well, hey, this could work for me. Mm-hmm. Everybody, not everybody, a lot of people want instant success like that. So let me play this for V so she can join in. This is Jason Lee running his mouth, talking in subliminals. He doesn't say the name Armon, but everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about Armon. If you were going to be done with Armon, you should have just been done with Armon. No subliminals. That's still, rocking the boat. That's still being petty. Mm-hmm. If y'all were truly done with each other, then it should have just been a clean break. But I don't like it when I'm done with somebody and they start reading my text messages or telling you everything I ever said or letting you know all my secrets in my business. I don't understand that. Let me play this for V really quick. So this is Jason Lee making his big mistake, coming on, talking shit about Armon. He says he doesn't use his name, but we all know who you're talking about. Take a listen. Mm-hmm.
That I even give you. And a lot of you other aspiring journalists and aspiring bloggers and YouTubers that I let sit at my table, you can't sit at my table no more. You bitches can starve. You're back on AFDC or FGC or EBT or whatever the fuck they give you, broke niggas. You're back on that shit with me. I'm not letting you eat at my tables no more. Why? Because if you look at your Instagram, I and all of my support and all of my shit is on your shit. And you've eaten at my table and you used all my relationships and access to look like you popping, but you ain't nothing but a broke ass, troglodyte ass bitch. And you're doing nothing but talking about me. Now, I'm not going to at you because you know who you are. You're sitting there in your Hanes or Fruit of the Loom underwear or your holy pink panties going, oh my God, he's talking about me. Yes, I'm talking about you. So go find a way to subliminally tweet me. because I'm giving you a subliminal to your subliminal. But my subliminal matters more because, bitch, when you go back to being that dry or that potato salad with the raisins in it, bitch, everybody's going to see it for what it is. I now am still a champion for Black media and will still be a champion for Black media, but I'm keeping y'all at a distance because at this point, there's a lot of you that I don't trust. There's just a lot of you that I don't trust. I'm seeing how y'all moving. I'm seeing what you're doing. I see how y'all all tried to play with me. One motherfucker said, oh, they was going to read me. You were never going to read me. You could never read me. You wouldn't read me in person because when you're in person, you sucking my dick. Honor. Oh, my God, you're Jason. You're the GOAT. You're this and that.
Jason Lee literally is the GOAT.
My God, you're Jason. You're the GOAT. You're this and that. I know what the fuck I am. I know I'm the GOAT. I know that. I know that. And I know you know that. And I know your followers know that. And I know your fans of your fan, whatever you got any, they know that. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do by starting tonight talking and reading my shit.
Now, right there. What's the mistakes Jason made? Why are you talking about this public?
Yeah.
Why? Why couldn't this been handled behind the scenes?
Right.
Or if Armon don't want to talk, not at all. But you don't go bringing the public into it. The people in the chat, we are entertainment for them. They don't give a damn. Do they really care if Sharrell's having a bad day or if they don't give a damn. This is entertainment. Reality TV at its finest. They start things in the chat. Team so-and-so, team this, team that.
Right,
I was
right.
Jason. I was watching Armon. I went to Jason and people were over there. Oh, Armon's at 14,000. You only got this month. And then they're like, this is entertainment to them. This is how they're going to act. So once you bring everybody in your business, then everybody has a say.
Mm-hmm.
And it muddies the water. When he said, I don't trust anybody, I know exactly what he's talking about. I want you to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Every time somebody calls me, they want something from me. And remember, V, I was like, it's getting overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't have any real friends anymore. When you start to become successful, you're not going to have any real friends anymore. Because in show business, everybody worried about their career. This is what it is. They don't give a damn what your career is like.
Right.
And they're going to get from you what they can get from you. I used to ask everybody, here, come on my channel. Go ahead and work with me for a while, and then you can build yourself up. And then they leave and they think, oh, okay, I got what I needed now. I'm better than her. F her. It hurts. You'd be like, I just did this, I did this for you. And, I'm trying to help you out.
Right.
But they just look at it like, and I heard Armon kept saying that, you didn't give me lights. You didn't verify me. You didn't do this. He didn't say, well, you brought me up. Yeah, I helped you. You helped me. You brought me up. You introduced me to these people. You put me in the same room. He tried to make it seem like Jason was jealous of him. And then he tried to destroy his relationship with Cardi B by saying things that he said to him about Cardi B in private. He knew what he was doing. Hold on. Let me play this really quick.
I need to watch out for Cardi B and not support her because I'm posting her too much. I only need to be posting her if she paying me. Then he gonna say he regret going so hard on Nicki Minaj for Cardi B because Cardi B don't give nothing back.
Now I had to stop it because this boils my blood. If I had a personal relationship with you and I tell you things in private, the last thing I hate is when somebody go back and betrays your trust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I told you that in private. Maybe he's telling you the truth. Maybe Cardi B only pays her. He's telling you something in private, but you decide to tell the world for what reason? You trying to blow up his spot. I don't get it. And listen, people are friends coming to your life for a reason and a season. We ain't all meant to be friends, okay? But when you burn bridges and step on people to get where you're going, those are going to be the same people you're going to see on your way down. I don't understand the big show last night. ding, ding. He had a button he was pushing, and then and ding and ding, and then he'd get up and he'd shake it, and then he'd go back. No one is obligated to verify you. If he verified you, that was something that he did for you. But you made it seem like he didn't help you at all. And if anything, he turned on you and became jealous of you and wanted to be you. I've had this happen to me so many times. I'm like, how am I trying to be? I was trying to help you. A lot of people, because they want to get to the top fast, will mistake your kindness for a weakness. Honestly, Jason Lee could have called anybody on the internet that's in blogging that's just starting out, and they would have went.
Mm-hmm.
He chose you. Would he have chosen you if he knew you were going to tell his secrets and burn his book and tell him kiss your ass? He was putting on for the audience. And the audience will get you going. Yay! And he kept saying, and I know he's putting on for the audience. I'm at 9,000. I'm at 10,000. I'm at 14,000. No, he was. And then he'd make all these ding, bing, bong, ding, ding. And then he'd twerk. He'd get up and he'd twerk. And then it was just buffoonery at its finest. Why we gotta all be on alive, going back and forth,
Right,
about our
differences.
differences? Why I gotta put on a show? Why couldn't this be a phone call? It's so weird. He said all kind of shit about Jason, except thank you. He said, you're jealous of me. You did this. You brought me to meet Kanye. You didn't want me to take a picture with Kanye, and I got my picture with Kanye. And then you seen the Daily Mail picked it up, and then you went and called and got yourself in a separate article. How come it couldn't have been, well, hey, that's a good idea. Let me do that. Because he kept reaching out to you. He kept asking you to help you with things. I don't think people understand that help means just that. I'm going to help you. I'm not going to quit my job and become your manager.
Right.
You're around me, get to know people, see how I'm doing this and that. But he flipped it all around. I think Armon is young. And young people don't understand the business side. So let me let you finish this and let me keep going on. Hold on.
And I need to watch out for her. All because she shouted me out. So
oh, did it pause?
Yeah, it froze or something.
Hold on.
Like it froze, yeah.
I need to
I'm gonna
watch
start it
out
all over.
for
Let
her
me try it again.
if she paying me.
Here we go.
Then he gonna say he regret going so hard on Nicki Minaj for Cardi B because Cardi B don't give nothing back. And I need to watch out for her. All because she shouted me out.
That was a little bit there. You could see his anger. So he feels like Jason tried to play him. Jason didn't help him to the best of his ability. Jason used him. Jason tried to steal from him and take things that he was going to do and did it for himself. And he really was like, he's this, he's that, he's this. And then he started pulling out text messages and reading them. Well, there's two sides to every story. So Armon gonna tell his story his way, and Jason gonna tell his story his way.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't have sense enough to figure out, okay, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. They both heated, they both mad, they both making this public. When you make something public like that, you can never take it back.
Nope.
You can never take it back. It's out there, people seeing it, they make their own decisions, and they don't forget. When you make something public like that, you basically end any chance of reconciliation. You do. Like they're done forever. They're done. You got the audience and team this, team that, team da. It just, I don't know. What was your thoughts on the pairing?
No, you know what? I think now Now, I mean, this is why I think mistakes came on both sides, and maybe it seemed like I think Jason Lee would have been there, or maybe Armon too, right, at a certain point, right? But I think when things happen, I wish they could have just, people get
Because
to
you're
learn.
older. Me and you are older, and we know now you don't take this to the public. You just don't.
Oh, you know,
Because the public makes it worse.
Right.
Especially Armand's audience. They're younger crowd, and they here for the rah-rah.
right.
They loved it. He pushing the button. Yeah, get him, Armand. He twerking. Get him. Team this, team that. But in the real world, that don't matter.
Right.
That don't matter. I know, and I just think that Armand is making bad business moves. Okay, so Armand is very talented. If I had to say who was has more talent, Jason Lee or Armand, it's definitely Armand. You can't take that from him. But who has the connections? How you get in the same room with Kanye to get there to begin with? That means a lot in business.
Mm-hmm.
These relationships aren't easy to build. They take a long time. You just don't burn the hand that feeds you. I don't understand that. I doubt that I'll ever come on here and hear Jason Lee saying that what's the guy who got him? Floyd Mayweather ain't shit. This the person that helped you. He ain't shit.
Right.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't like cooning. I don't like playing for the audience on something so serious. I think both of them should have took it behind closed doors.
Right.
People will make it polarized, just like Republicans, Democrats. It's polarized because once you on a side, you feel that you're on a team, and that usually blocks out rational thinking. Because no matter what I'm team sons, I'm 10 toes down for Republican. They don't want to hear nothing Democrat, and it just gets polarized. That's why nothing gets done.
Right.
Teams. That's in high school. Like, this crew hang with this crew, and I just thought it was sad. I thought it was a disgrace, and they just showed out for the public.
I think emotions kick in which, it's going to happen. I mean, but in this business, you're going to really have to learn how to control that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like friendships. I mean, friendships come and go, but you don't have to walk away with a verbal fight.
Enemies.
Right? I mean, at a certain point, you got to be able to walk away and let it go.
Right.
I mean, and that's where they both made their mistakes because, you get emotional. They come on. Jason Lee say what he had to say and put him on up there. Armon get emotional. He's human too. He's going to do it. But then you're going to have all these people in the chat because everybody loves somebody else's drama.
Yeah.
Else's drama. Because people are close. Yeah, you go get him, Armon. You go get him, Jason Lee, on both sides, right? You go get him at all costs. The only two people got something to lose out of this is Armon and Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then what this really bothers me is that they already think black people stupid. All we do is fight. All we do is clown. You're adding to that. That's crazy. I don't understand. Why couldn't the same conversation been had in a room with just the two of you or a phone call? Why we need to invite 14,000 people he had in this chat? Why we got to have 14,000 people's opinion? I don't get it. I don't get it. If anybody, and that's what I'm saying, and Jason Lee, you forget. When you get a certain amount of success, you have no friends. You have no friends. People want shit from you. Can you take me here?
Well, put subscribers mode on.
It is.
It's on.
Yeah. Everybody can have an opinion. I'm going to let everybody talk. I ain't trying to hash in with silence what anybody has to say. I want to see what people, why they think this was just a brilliant night. Like, why was it so great? Well, it makes no sense.
I mean, and the weird part about it, people would think it's brilliant. Say
They
they don't
loved
like.
it. They
Okay,
loved
okay,
it.
okay. Let's say this. Say they don't like Jason Lee,
hmm
right? So they
And by the
want.
way, I don't know Jason Lee, and I don't know Armon.
I mean, neither. Me
So
neither.
this ain't
Okay,
no team
Right.
nobody. This is team adult.
right.
And saying what I thought.
Is
Right.
what I'm saying is why people like it, because if people got away and don't feel Jason Lee,
hmm
they want somebody to attack them, right?
Yeah.
But
that's
on the
what-
reverse side, right?
mhm.
People gonna want Amon to attack him. People who don't like Amon would cheer him on
Mhm.
just so he can mess up his connections.
Mhm.
Did that make sense? Like
Mhm.
on both sides, you don't know where the applause is truly coming from.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like
Mhm.
people do it. You go get him. You gonna get him, and then yeah, he done messed up his bag or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Misery love company.
People were in Armand's chat last night to see the show. You don't get 14,000 every night. That's not your average numbers. They were there to see the show. That doesn't last. It's one night and one night only. Davina says, didn't Jason bite the hand that was feeding him, saying he quit over the shirt, but got fired, so his connections are shaky and always in mess? I don't know what you're trying to say. You need to come up. Do you understand what they're saying, Perry?
I think she's saying with the Kanye thing that didn't Jason Lee bite the hand that was feeding him? But this the part, but he got fired. I don't know whether he got fired or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whether he got
They're
fired
saying
or
he got
quit.
fired.
So his
Look.
connections are shaky.
Mhm.
Well, and okay, now say even if that's the case, Kanye was one connect.
Mhm.
Is one connect. If that's the
Mhm.
case, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean,
Just throwing that out there.
nobody's really truly saying
Mhm.
one side is squeaky clean. We just saying both
We
of them
said
made
both sides.
mistakes.
It was mistakes made on both
Both
sides. And
sides
I
have
have a
to
tendency
learn.
to lean towards Jason's side. And let me tell you why I do that. When I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thinking I'm helping somebody, this is why I don't have a panel anymore. And you can come up, I'll introduce you, I will work with you, let you know, build your clientele while you're on my channel, stuff like that. And I'm really helping you. Midstream, it starts to be expected, and then they want more. Well, you brought me on this show. I should have been on this show. You didn't give me enough time to talk. I need to talk. And V, you've seen that happen to me over and over again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like
Every-
you trying to help people, but it's no friends in blogging. It's not. All bloggers is worried about their own damn career.
Mhm.
There's no such thing as a friend anymore. These people want something from you. So Jason Lee calls Armon. I don't know. I helped you with your equipment. Okay, that was nice. It probably should have stopped there. But Jason decides to bring him up to all these things that he has going on. You got to stop doing that. People don't look at it like, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. They're looking at it as you're trying to be me. You're trying to stop my bag. You're trying to stop my shine. You stealing this from me. I'm not going to do this and that. And then some of the things that he was saying, that Jason was saying, well, maybe that's how he felt.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just think it was a shit
Well,
show.
no, I get it. I get
Well-
it. I mean, on both sides, it's gonna be feelings there, right? Jason
Mhm.
Lee gonna say things how he felt. The stuff Amon said is how he felt. See, because it's different sides of the pole, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's two different companies, basically. You know what I'm saying? You know, personalities and everything else. But it's just sad to see that.
I just feel also too like nobody makes it by themselves. You're going to either meet somebody that'll open the door for you, or somebody will tell you something that you didn't know. So people help build your career. It's never,
Right.
I did all this on my own. Like you, Perry came in and helped me. V came in and helped me. So that's building relationships with people, right? People don't have to help you. So, I don't want to go around and have all these enemies. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Mhm.
because I don't need you anymore. I can make it on my own.
Right.
And Jason Lee should have never said anything, because Armand's going to talk about Jason Lee for the next 3 years like he did Tasha K. You don't gain by arguing publicly. You don't gain anything.
Well, look, I don't know either one of these guys. I don't know anything about them. I'm just kind of on the sideline looking in.
Mm-hmm.
But I did listen to a little bit of Armon's tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, at what point, if you're working with somebody and they're supposed to be mentoring you, because it sounded like that's what he was doing, if they're supposed to be mentoring you, at what point do you stop owing them? Because to me, Armon felt disrespected because Jason started talking to him like he owed him money or something. You know, so at what point do you not, you know, you can't disrespect somebody because you're helping them. You have to stick.
If that's how he took it. So let me tell you this. So he was saying, then he was throwing me subliminals. This happens to me all the time. Someone says, she's talking to me, and I'm not even thinking about that person, right? I'm just doing my job. He was throwing me subliminals, so I shot back. He said he wasn't even talking about you. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, maybe, listen, everybody run their career different. I don't argue in public anymore. I pay the price for doing that. You pay a price for doing that.
Yeah.
You pay a big price, don't you?
Yeah.
People never forget. It riles everybody up, and you become the shit show for the moment. If you really have a problem with somebody, you need to handle it with that person in private. Going public is just a big mistake. That's what I think. And you've been with me, V, before when I went public. Does it pay?
I would say don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you do it anyway. So,
and this coming from experience, so it's not
and
like
I had to learn the hard way. Don't fight in public. Don't fight. You can't take it back. Mm-hmm. I also learned the hard way. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. You're not meant to be everybody's friend. This relationship might last for a minute, but I don't have to go talk about your mama and just take away your pride and fuck you and all of that. You pay a price for that. You pay a price for that. In business. Now, in people's personal lives, that's what they do. But in business, you pay a price for that because everybody's watching. Okay. So somebody's watching that. And this actually happened to me. That's why I'm telling you guys, get off the internet. Everybody's watching. So when I go try to advance my career and do something that really will benefit me, first thing they do is they go to the internet. Look how she acting. I can't tell a businessman, I was mad that day. Jason did me wrong. They look at you like, you don't know how to act.
Yeah.
You don't know how to act. It ruins business deals, especially if you're dealing with the opposite race. They don't give a damn about this. They see how you acted. And you know what? You're going to get labeled ghetto. And you can't undo it. All that show my face that everybody loved and they thought it was funny.
Yep.
How many business deals did I mess up by doing that?
A lot.
Show your face. And they loved it. They cheered me on. Get her, Sharrell, get her. And then there would be white businessmen that I never thought would be on my channel. Like, remember when you did this?
Yep.
Like,
for real.
I couldn't take it back. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Hopefully they both learn from it, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, we have made these mistakes and stuff, and then we just stand from experience. If I can go back and take all that shit back that we did, I would. But the thing is, I can't.
Because let me tell you, when you a business person, I ain't talking about the chat. Yay, rah. No, I'm talking about being an adult. You go into somebody's office and they've got tapes of you and they put it up there. You just want to, like, damn, I can't believe I did that.
That wasn't me.
Well,
Let me
it was embarrassing. I was getting it off my chest. I really hated that blogger. I was going in. Yeah. Damn, this shit is following me. Now I got to pay the price for this. Hi, Wiley. Jason Armand was right. Jason Lee was wrong. Everybody thinks that has no intentions of doing business. You go on there, you go in an office, in a boardroom, how many people with a long table with business people on both sides, mostly white Americans, and they putting up things and you acting like a dumbass? It follows you. I wish I could take it back so bad. The crowd built me up. Get her, Sharrell, get her, Sharrell. And I can say how right I was because this person did me wrong or this is it follows you. Another thing is in your journey in a career, you never know when you're going to see this person again. And I'll give you an example. And I'm going to be honest. I'll be honest. So I've been in this business a long time. Now, I'd have made several fools of myself publicly and had fallen out with people. Well, I've made real connections. I've made real connections with people. Okay, so fine. So later on down the road, this one person that I'm fighting with, you know who I'm talking about, he has a substance abuse problem. Okay, so I worked with him. We didn't get along. And then he tries to clean up his act and move on. Somebody calls me. Hey, Sharrell, have you ever dealt with this person? I ain't forgot what he did to me. I have not forgot. They said, well, do you reckon that this person? No. Why not? Because he didn't burn bridges with me. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You never know when you go. Maybe one day Armand gonna need Jason again. Or vice versa. You never know. You never burn bridges. Because that means you can't go back for nothing. And that person never forgets. They never forget what you did. I mean, please. I mean, I'm just trying to talk some sense into people. But, you know, people gonna call on and do what they gonna do. But I'm telling you from my experience, it never paid for me to act like that in public. No matter how right I was, how wrong I was, it never paid. When I thought I was helping somebody, and the last thing they tell me is thank you. I've had people do this. I had people pull my private messages and go down the list and read. I ain't forgot that. No intentions of doing business. Didn't Jason Lee throw a whole drink in a woman's face on primetime TV? Yes. Yes. So because he threw a drink in somebody's face means that he got to keep acting like that for the rest of his life? Y'all don't get it. You can't be acting like that in public, in my opinion. But, you know, I will never do it again. And I'm telling you this from experience. That shit comes back to haunt you. Not with the chat. Not with Jason, with people who's watching that you don't even know is watching.
And then typically it don't happen the next day.
No.
It don't happen the next day where it come back to haunt you like that. And
next year or two.
I get it because you never know when it's time gonna be. But I'm sure Armand and Jason Lee both will have some remorse on how they handled it. That's all.
I mean, you would hope so.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. I would, yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't pay to act like that.
Right.
They judge us every day when we're not watching. And you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We have a bad reputation. That didn't help. That doesn't help. It just doesn't help. I thought what happened last night was just sad. Sad. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong forum. Wrong forum. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But you will never have this problem. You just, when you're in business, there's no such thing as friend. People turn on you daily. Turn on you daily. You always have to be thinking business. These ain't your friends. Other bloggers are not your friends. Let's see what other people have to say. Hey, Sebastian.
Hey Sharrell, hey Perry. Hi
What's
V,
up?
how are you V?
Hi, Sebastian. How you doing?
I'm good. Um Last night was a sugar honey iced tea show.
A what?
A sugar honey iced tea show. I don't know if I
Okay.
can say the actual word, so I'm gonna say that. That's what it was last night. One here, the other there. It was too much.
Yeah.
And there are certain things when you have like these feuds and stuff, it's better to go private than having all this thing out.
That's how I feel. I feel that business-wise, it's an awful mistake to do.
And another thing is, I'm kind of neutral on the situation because I feel like they both have their points and faults.
Mhm.
So I'm very neutral, but I think I kind of lead more towards Armon. But like I realize he did the wrong things. Like you don't do this. Like you're supposed to be grateful for people who helped you, no matter how. I get that you probably are not friends with them or anymore, or they're not mentoring you anymore. But like you just stay cordial and just when everyone talks about that person, that you just say we no longer participate together. Like it's very simple. You guys don't have to make this whole thing.
When you burn the bridge,
Huh?
burn the person bridge, like you walk out the door, you're done, and you turn around, you throw a match
No, don't do that.
and blow it up.
Don't do that. No. You gotta be
It
calm.
comes back to haunt you.
You have to be calm and cordial.
You have to be calm.
And it makes you look like a child. Both of them, Jason and Armon.
That's
Even
what I
though love
said.
Armon
Mistakes was made on both
more. Even
sides.
though I love Armon more, I do think he is talented.
Very talented.
He's very talented, and I do see himself in the future doing something big. But you don't do, both of them, you don't do this type of stuff. Like you guys are adults. These are things that like 15, 16-year-olds do. And it shows the lack of maturity between the two, which is why I think both of them messed up.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Let me
Hey,
read this
Mel.
really quick.
Hey, Mel.
Armon always has big numbers, whether he mentions Jason or not. Boring like Jason. Armon only brought up Tasha K when she was doing things behind the scenes, like Jason, Jason, gaslight.
Gaslighting.
Let me tell you
Like
something
Jason.
about this too. Gaslighting people or just dragging them whenever you get a chance. The way I understood it is that I guess Tasha K helped Armon mentor him too, and then they fell out. And then the dragging began. When you're the one with the more numbers, that doesn't benefit you. It doesn't. It comes back to haunt you. You're giving this person shine. You're giving them reason to talk about you. It's best to walk away and don't say anything. But it really could damage your business. I don't know. Go ahead, Mel. What do you got to say?
Well, you know what? First up, I was listening to the chat. I don't know these two guys as well, but I really have something to say. I really want to contribute to this because I actually agree with you very deeply, Sharrell, with this point, because I feel like what Sebastian just said is true. I think that when it comes to entertainment, music, YouTube, whatever you do, you have to have a bit of professionalism. You have to keep certain things behind the scenes. So what I want to say is, as a caller, it is a total privilege to go on somebody's platform and to be able to complete a sentence, because it's not that way across YouTube. My story is that when I last year was calling into shows, I found out about that, and I found this woman that I talked about a couple of days ago, and she's a friend of mine. Her name is Tisa Tells. And when I called into her show, she heard me. She heard my voice, and she hit me up and said, come onto my panel. And I was not a caller from the chat. She put me on her panel. And never in a million years, even if we're not communicating all the time, and I consider her a friend, would I even say anything disparaging about her, even if we may not always agree with something. So I just think that people have to realize that, as you said, if you have a bigger platform, you work very hard to get there. It's, you know what, if you're helping somebody, that's great, but it's not really something they have to do. She didn't have to do that for me. But
She
she did,
didn't.
and I would say this too. She was the only person on the internet that allowed me, because you know what, Mr. You know this too. It is a privilege as a caller to call into a show that's packed, big panel, and be able to complete a sentence. She said, "You know what? You're going to not like you do with V. Everybody. You're not going to be in this chat. You're going to be behind the scenes. You're going to sit here. You're going to say what you want. Now you can. It's a joy and a privilege, and I'll never forget that ever. So with these guys, to have this disagreement about things, whatever. I think that they just have to remember, like you said about business. I like what you said about. I'm not going to name the person. I know your history a little bit, so I'm not going to name all the names. But I was listening. I was very listening. I love this conversation and how transparent you're being. You know about the game. You know, it's all. I mean, it's a lot going on behind the scenes. I'm just a caller, but I kind of know a little bit about how this works a little bit. It's a little crazy.
Because this could have moved in a different direction. Marn could have said, "I'm thankful for what Jason did, but I'm moving in a different direction." It could have moved. It could have went just like that.
But in Hollywood, they do it. So you know what? I would say is another thing for what they call it. Joan Rivers, who I love, my family loved her, and she said this. She said, "My husband died. Somebody killed my deal, but yet I had to go to the party and shake their hand and say, how you doing?" That was just about. That's old school. It's an old school way of you in business. Entertainment, you're always going to be with a shark. You're always going to be with a snake. It's just the way it's the name of the game. So if you're constantly cussing everybody out, you're never going to be somebody that people want to work with, because they're going to say you're too sensitive, basically. So that's what I've learned. When it comes to entertainment, that's the way it is. People are dirty sometimes.
I know my lines get clogged up, Wiley. I really want you to call in. Let me try to bring up some. Okay, listen.
Well, I
thank
want
you.
to hear him too.
I want to hear what Wiley has to say.
I want to hear him too, because this is a very great conversation.
Okay, let me try to clear my
You gotta
lines.
try to get him
He's
up.
done some
And then
similar
bring him
stuff.
up.
All right.
Huh?
Okay,
Let me,
I want to say I'm happy you're doing well. I mean, I never get a chance to talk to you. I need to follow you somewhere.
Thank you, Mel.
All right, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna keep rotating callers till I get Wiley up here.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mel. I love you. Thank you, Sebastian. Appreciate you calling in.
Much respect.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Buzz. How are you?
I'm good. First, I want to say thank you, because you are one of the people that's on YouTube that does allow us to come and speak our opinions no matter what. So I do want to thank you. That's first and foremost. And secondly, here's the thing. I get exactly what you're saying about professionalism, and certain things don't always need to be discussed publicly. But here's the thing about this whole situation. He's been biting his tongue for a long time in regards to how he's feeling that Jason has been disrespecting him. He's even tried to talk to him behind the scenes, and he keeps doing stuff. So I understand him feeling disrespected. I understand that he's tired, and I get that. And you only don't take so much.
I get that.
But on the flip side, as somebody who watches online, I know he tends to get a little sensitive. He got sensitive about T.S. Madison. They were developing a friendship. She was kind of look out for him or whatever. They fell out because he thought they were cooler than what they were, and he didn't get invited to Thanksgiving. That became a whole thing. They're cool now, but he had this thing about that. Same thing with Tasha. He thought they were cool. I think the same thing happened with Jason. He felt maybe not as cool as he felt like he was with Tasha and TS, because they actually used to talk all the time, but he thought they had some level of camaraderie where, dude, like, why are you disrespecting me? And why, if you say you're going to do something for me, you don't do it? But I'm sitting up here breaking my neck for you, doing stuff for you. But when it comes to me, you don't do anything for me, but I'm breaking my neck to help you.
And I get that, Buzz. And those are natural feelings to have. Where he made his mistake is when he went public. When you burn a bridge like that, you can't fix that.
I agree.
And you never know whose help you might need in the future. So, okay, he blew up a bridge for Tasha K. Can't go over there no more. He blew up a bridge for Jason. Can't go there no more. I'm blowing up bridge. Next thing you know, you got a whole list of people of bridges you done burned.
That part I agree with. That's why I brought that up, because this is the third bridge, because he does get into his feelings. So I do think he needs to take a step back and not be so reactive. Yes, he did hold his tongue, because there's been a lot going on before he even said anything, but you still have to pick and choose your battles. I get both sides. I do.
You have to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, and this is a personal experience for me, when I acted a fool on the internet and I wanted a TV show, there were white men looking at me saying, oof, we don't know about this. It
And I
doesn't
get
go
it.
away.
And you're right, because I ain't gonna lie, it was one situation, you know what I'm talking about. I was off, and I'm rarely off work and have a full day off work. When I tell you it was one thing that you got into, and when I tell you all of YouTube was following this story, and I was into it.
Every
Okay,
day, I wish I could take that back.
I was
Every day.
into it.
And if the tapes never go away, people that will business people will judge you on that.
Yeah,
they will judge you.
And you're right. We on YouTube. We love it. I was sitting up here saying, "Show your face" for the longest. Okay, but
Yeah,
I was into it. I was into it. But on the business side, that's bad business.
It's bad business. Bad business.
I totally get it. Well, I want to let Wally get on here, so you can drop me.
Thank
And what up,
Thanks,
Wally?
Buzz.
You get up there.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Dawn. Sound off.
Hi, good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay, always a pleasure. So, really quickly, so I was listening to the live from the beginning, and I really appreciate your perspective. I absolutely do. I don't agree largely with a lot of the things that you said, but I do appreciate your perspective because
What part don't you agree on?
well, let me just say really quickly that I've just, for the most part, seen online just, massive support for Armon, and it's just a little refreshing to see a different perspective. What I don't agree with, right, the couple of things that I don't agree with is the fact of the bridges burning thing, right? Look, that is something that will fly a lot of the time. It absolutely will, but you have to look at it like this, right?
What do you mean by fly?
No, I'm gonna explain myself.
Okay.
So the gossip blogosphere is basically founded on mess. Okay, for the most part, it's founded on mess, and some of the same rules that apply, like in other fields, may not necessarily apply all the time with the gossip blogosphere, right? So the same way that the quote unquote powers that be are looking at Armon is the same way they're looking at Jason as well, looking to see how each party is handling the situation.
Yes.
We can say that you don't want to burn a bridge because you may need to walk back over it, but what if you can fly? What if you learn to fly? You understand what I'm saying? You may not necessarily need that bridge. You may not necessarily need that bridge.
You don't know.
But you don't know. But this is the thing. We have to understand that for a very, very long time, Armon Wiggins has had a reputation of coming for women harder than he will come for men. Okay, that's just something that's what people have said for a very, very, very long time. Okay, he gives all the smoke to women and doesn't give the smoke to men. This is what people have been saying for basically years. Okay, now in this instance, he paid it for a very, very long time. And initially, when I saw, don't get me wrong, I like Jason Lee too. I really, really do. But I mean, I have to keep it 100 here. When I initially saw Armon Wiggins hosting gagging, right, I was ecstatic because I was like, wow, it's clear that Armon Wiggins is somebody who is more talented in terms of entertaining the public. Okay, Jason Lee absolutely has it going on behind the scenes, wheeling and dealing. The business part, you can never take that away from him because he basically came from zero to what he is today. So you could absolutely never take that away from him. So my impression when I first saw, Armon hosting gagging, not the clubhouse, I'm talking about recently. And then so he was hosting it, he got great numbers and stuff. So I was like, wow, this is really good on Jason Lee's part because he's, he was on vacation, I think, and wherever he was, Greece or whatever, and he's, behind the scenes doing what he's doing. And I said, okay, well, he's very smart to do this because having somebody like Armon is going to keep his numbers up.
Can you hear me?
He's going to be
Yeah.
behind the
Hey,
scenes.
hold on one second, Don. Can you hear us, Wiley?
Yes, I can.
I'm glad you called in. Let me let her
The
finish
only
up
thing,
really quick, and then we'll go. Go ahead. Can you finish really quickly, or do you want Wiley to talk first?
No, I'm gonna let Wiley talk, but let me just say one quick thing, and then I'm gonna let him talk.
Okay.
So I was thinking that he was gonna have him behind this, have him on the show, keep his numbers up, right? Then he was gonna really focus on being like a media mogul type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? But when Jason Lee came back to his show, he was subbing Armon. The day he came back, he was subbing him. Okay. When he sat there and he basically said things to the effect of, well, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, that type of thing. And then it sort of went on from there. I'll say something else maybe a little bit later, but I do want Wiley to chime in because I have a feeling what he's going to say. So let him say his thing. And then if you'll be so kind, I'll say something a little bit later.
Thank you, Wiley, for calling in.
Hey,
I
what's up,
seen your
Wiley?
show last night.
yes.
And I watched you. I like your show.
Thank
a
you.
lot.
So I just want to say this because everybody say he burned a bridge. Some bridges need to be burnt, and you build a new bridge. Jason Lee have copied Armon Wiggins a lot of times. Jason Lee never wanted to make Armon Wiggins the next person. He always wanted to use Armon Wiggins to be his guard dog. But once Armon Wiggins said, no, I'm going to do my show, I'm going to be independent, it was a threat towards Jason Lee. Jason Lee was also jealous of Armon Wiggins' relationship with Cardi B. So he have always been jealous and envy of Armon Wiggins.
No. Oh, how do you know
Because
that
I showed the receipts. The receipts are out there. And we have always, even former employees that said Jason was jealous and envy. And so this have always been Jason Lee. He never could get along.
Jason Lee bring Armon up and really put him in some good situations? Like hosting gagging and stuff like that. Didn't he do
Yes,
that?
he did. But then if you understand that at first, he didn't want to pay Armon Wiggins. And the only reason why he paid him is because we exposed the text message saying that Jason Lee did not want to pay Armon Wiggins. Since we put that video out, then Jason Lee said, okay, I'm going to pay you. But he have already unfollowed him and his staff. So I'm glad that Armon Wiggins exposed him. He's growing. He had 10,000 people in the chat. Sometimes you don't have to have a relationship with Jason. That relationship was tarnished. Jason Lee wasn't being genuine. And Armon Wiggins is speaking up. Armon have great relationships in this business. He got the Nicki Minaj repost. He got the Cardi B repost. So he's doing really well for himself. Jason, on the other hand, have a staff, and his quality is not even better than Armon, and Armon doesn't have a staff.
You cannot deny the fact that Jason Lee has been running a successful business.
He have been running a successful business.
And
Let me
he
tell
has
you
a lot
why.
of connections,
He
right?
had backers. He had Floyd Mayweather. Armon never got a Floyd Mayweather backing, and his quality, his viewership is definitely better than Jason Lee. Jason Lee viewership should be higher than Armon because he have 10, 20 times the audience of Armon Wiggins as subscribers.
Wiley, you're in the business. This is a different sector of show business. You have to have talent and you have to have business sense, don't you?
Absolutely.
One
And
don't go
Armon
without
Wiggins
the other.
have great.
Armon is so talented.
Armon have great business sense, and what he was trying to ask Jason is to teach him the business. You know what Jason did? He did not teach him the business. Jason Lee only invited him to parties and stuff like that.
Was he doing Armon wrong when he brought him up and put him on, gave him exposure? Was he doing Armon wrong then?
No, he was not doing Armon wrong on that part. But then when you brought him up and you see the success of Armon, now you want to control him. Now you think that he owes some loyalty, that he always have to kiss Jason Lee butt. Just because a person invites you to dinner does not mean that you have to kiss their butt. So that's what Jason Lee wanted with Armon Wiggins. And I see your point. I get it because you say don't burn the bridge. You may need Jason Lee later. Jason Lee might need Armon Wiggins because let's be clear, Hollywood Unlocked does not get the viewership like Armon Wiggins. Armon Wiggins definitely 10-1 have beat Jason Lee in the ratings. Some bridges need to be burned.
I appreciate what you said.
And this is a teachable moment.
When you
the
argue
next bridge that Armon would
it comes back to haunt you. Do you think I'm making that up?
Yes.
You saw me.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that Jason Lee part gonna come back and haunt him because new bridges will be given to Armon Wiggins.
Well, it's just not necessary. Relationships come and go. They don't last forever.
You said,
but you ain't gotta strip somebody or burn a bridge where you can never go back. I don't think that's good.
Ma'am, ma'am, people burn bridges. Like when you report on the Real Housewives, you be dragging the Real Housewives.
I do. Can you hear me, Wiley? Oh my God.
He's going
Wiley.
out. He's fading out.
Yes. So you be dragging the Real
There he is.
Housewives. What is it? What about that bridge?
I drag the people that drag me first. It just is just not. I mean, you can do it.
I can hear you now. Yes.
But
I'm sorry, I'm on my phone.
It's okay. I think it's not a bad thing.
So
that
thank you.
I'm
That's
telling
all I
people.
want to say. I didn't want to say anything else. Thank you so much.
He's going in and out.
It's not a bad thing to tell people, watch how you act in public. Stop clowning. Don't burn bridges. It just don't make no sense. Hi, Autumn. Sound off.
Hi. I too agree with what Wiley was just saying. I get what you're saying, Sharrell, as far as burning bridges, but yes, like Wiley said, some bridges need to be burned. Jason Lee, yes, Armon gave him his props for helping him, and he called him the GOAT, and he was trying to respect him as well as he could. He also did not, when they first fell out, tell anybody about it. He kept it to himself. He did not go public with it. And when people were coming to him and telling him that Jason Lee was subbing him and was like kicking his back and then talking about him, he said he wasn't going to say anything about it. And he didn't. And he didn't do anything about it for months. For months, he let that man disrespect him.
Let me say this, because I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that all that is not true. Armon probably felt that way.
No, it's true. Sharrell, Sharrell, did you watch Armon's live? Because he literally showed all the receipts, day by day, receipt by receipt, of things that was said and the correlations. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, whether who was talking to who and who was wrong.
Right. I seen that. But I will constantly say it's a bad move when you argue in public. Have you ever did that, Autumn?
I have, but then look at it like this. I've watched several videos yours lately with Nicki Minaj, and we know that now she's a bully. You can't just let people talk to you crazy, and just because that's a bridge that most people won't cross because of her notoriety and her influence and stuff, people would be afraid to go up against her. But Nosy took a stand and said, not today, right?
And it came back to haunt Nosy big time.
Okay. But it's something like some people, I think people are getting to the point where you can't just, what have I been saying? You can't just talk to people any kind of way and do anything to
and
people.
I get that. I'm not saying that part. The part I have a problem with is when you come in the public, you bring the chat into the business, and y'all arguing in public, saying everybody trying to cut each other lower and lower and lower. Then you bring the chat into it. Their team, this person, their team, that person. That stuff comes back to haunt you.
Well, I think Jason
we are
Lee,
not animals. We know how to act.
okay, well, two things. Jason Lee started it. I think Armon definitely ended it yesterday. He put a period on it. There should not be anything left to be said. And as far as the statement of they were a disgrace to Black people, actually, I don't see it as more than YouTube beef. And Jason Lee is not Black. Okay, so to me, it was just two YouTubers going at it,
But is
and
that
one
okay
had.
if the two YouTubers' name is Jason Lee and Armon, or Diana and Fred? My point being is that when you start arguing and stuff like that in public, people say things that you don't forget. You get the audience all riled up. You are looking at this as entertainment. This is entertainment to you. You don't know these men. You don't call them on the phone. You have no phone in the
No,
fight.
it wasn't just entertainment. It to me was David taking on Goliath and someone saying, "Hey, I don't care how big your platform is. I don't care how much money you have. Thank you for what you did for me, but you cannot buy me, and enough is enough." I tried to be quiet. I was okay with being quiet, but today I'm going to expose you. Period. Hands down. And whatever happens after that, let the chips fall where they lay. Period. That's what Armand did yesterday. It wasn't just about, to me, entertainment of, oh, look at these two people going at it. I think a point was made, the line was drawn in the sand, and Jason Lee has been clowning people for years, and people have been overlooking it. And I like some of his content. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm older. I didn't even know any of this quote unquote beef, but I watched both people's lives yesterday. I listened to everything objectively. And to me, the one person was clearly a narcissist and thought that, hey, because I helped you, you need to kiss my ring and stay in your place. And the other person said, thank you for helping me. I appreciate your help. And I give you your props for where you are. But guess what? You're not going to keep putting your foot on my neck, and I'm not going to do what you want me to do. Because even the part when he was talking about Cardi B, he wasn't trying to just put that out there to be messy. What he was saying was Jason got introduced him to Cardi B, but once him and Cardi B formed a relationship, Jason got jealous of that relationship and tried to step in between and cause friction. And we've all had situations where you end up getting cool with a person, another person gets jealous and try to mess up that because they introduce you. It's not right.
Okay, go ahead. Let's say everybody have a problem. Why don't we all fist fight? Why don't we all go in there, cuss each other out, talk about each other's mamas? That's okay.
No, it's not. But I watched you. What was it? Show your face. Show your face, ho. Show your face. At that time, that's how you felt, and you had enough. And those people that ride with you did not.
Do you hear the second part of my sentence? I paid dearly for that.
Well, we still here rocking with you. Those that support you stayed, and those that didn't left. So what? Same thing with Armand. Whoever's going to stay with him is going to stay with him.
Not with the chat.
Business.
Not with the callers. I'm talking about with business people who I didn't even know was watching me.
Mm-hmm.
It messed up several deals. I mean, I'm just trying to help y'all out. If you want to keep fighting on the internet, go ahead. But you don't know who's watching. They don't forget. And some people don't want to deal with that mess.
Okay. But Jason Lee was trying to blackball him anyway and shut down things for him anyway. And he was just going to take that and be quiet. Well, now guess what? I may lose out on them deals anyway because you're shutting down those, but people will know what you're all about.
Okay, Autumn. Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you tell them every time you don't get your way, go hit somebody upside the head?
No.
There's a way to act. That's
Absolutely.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying Armand is wrong. Listen to me. I'm not saying Armand is wrong in his feelings and how he was treated. I don't know. I wasn't there. You said he'd been hanging on to it for a year. I don't watch him like that. I don't watch Jason like that either. I'm saying there's a way to act in public. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I also give that people are human and everybody has their breaking point. And sometimes everybody overplays their hand. And if you get used to bullying people into submission and doing what you want, you continue to do it from one person to the next person to the next person.
It pisses you off. But I wish somebody would have told me you handle yourself different.
Okay, but he did try to reach out to Jason Lee behind the scenes. Jason Lee unfollowed him, stopped returning phone calls, had all his staff unfollow him, as well as the people that he connected to unfollow him and stop answering phone calls.
Position. I'm not saying Armand don't feel that way. I'm not saying Armand. I'm saying when it gets to the point that y'all in public arguing, going back and forth, it sends a message.
I get it.
One,
I just don't think it's going to be any more back and forth. I think it's done with now. I might be naive for that, but to me, I think it was everybody said what they had to say yesterday, and there's nothing else that needs to be said. Everybody is exposed, and all the information's out there, and it is what it is at this point.
hey Diva,
Hey,
sound
um,
off. I'm glad you called in.
you know, this conversation
Thank you, Stephanie.
is deep, right?
It's deep.
And
It's deep.
I will say this, you know, as a person like an older person in the community, right? I call myself being in my second half of my life. What I think is, for me, I'm not taking a side of who's right or wrong. Now I watch both of them, right? And I'm gonna say, hands down, Armon put on the show last night. Okay?
He did.
I was
He
here
came
for it,
in.
I was listening to it, and I connected to pieces of it, right? And here's where Jason went wrong. If you are the mentor, the leader, and all of that, and you're supposed to be bringing up the Black media, why throw the first stone? So you throw a stone in this fight, and you're supposed to be the mentor, but now you come and acting like you're not even a mentee. So all I'm saying is, and you know, there's some people that saying, and it's everybody's opinion, but here's mine, right? Some people are saying some bridges are meant to be burnt. What if you fly above? The thing is, I know about this world is it's a big fat circle, and you're always going to end up running into the same people some way, somehow. And the thing is, you never know who's connected with who, right? So that's why you don't burn bridges. That's why you don't drop bombs on stuff. That's why sometimes I'm going to take the Kathy Hilton moment. Silence is golden. People, in my opinion, they will always get what is coming to them, right? I've had it happen to me in the corporate world. I had it happen to me in a ton of places that I worked in, right? And so I took the road of, you go ahead and keep running full steam with your shenanigans and your nonsense, right? And then there have been times where it turned around. They were dogging me, and it turned around, and I was their supervisor. You understand? Now you're feeling some kind of way because you know what you did to me. But guess what? I'm not going to go low like you and do the same thing to you. So to both of these individuals that were all in the same sector, right? I get it. Maybe there's some fighting behind the scenes. But the main reason why we should not fight for the public to see is because we don't know who's watching. There's other sectors, hands down, millions and millions of dollars in deals are coming their way, Sharrell. Why? Because they're not doing this picking and plucking. So meantime, we're over here picking and plucking at each other, and the other people are getting the cash and getting the deals and getting the money.
Why
So
don't people
all
see
you-
that? Why don't
Right.
people see that?
That's what you're trying to say. And all you're saying is sometimes, see, there's people in this world, they can learn a lesson from somebody else's mistake. And there's other people that they got to bump their head up against the wall 55 times to learn the lesson. I can learn from others. All you're trying to say is, listen, I've been there, done that. I know I done it. I was wrong. I missed out as a result of me speaking before I thought about the situation. I let my emotions get the best of me.
Exactly.
So you're trying to say to them, don't let your emotions get the best of you. You're not saying that Armon isn't right. You're not saying that Jason is right over Armon. You're saying that the entire situation should have handled behind the scenes, because we all miss out on bigger deals when it seems like we can't even, this is the way we handle our life and handle ourselves. And you know, because you never know who's watching you, when, where, and how.
Exactly.
So I could pluck from both sides, both the feelings, because I know how that goes, right? But all we're saying is, at the end of the day, don't drop a bomb on the bridge, because that bridge, you may have to cross it again.
You never know.
And you never know. And not only that, even if you have to end up in a room with this person again, do you want to make a person that is responsible on a higher level to give both of y'all some business uncomfortable because they have to choose between y'all two, because y'all two are fighting like cats and dogs?
Thank you.
You're going to miss out.
I must have worded it wrong. You said exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I'm right, wrong. I'm not doing the teams. I don't give a damn about who team, who right, who wrong.
Right.
I'm saying as a whole, it's not a good idea for you to go out there and make it public. That's all I'm saying. You don't know who's watching, and they don't forget. So let me tell you something. this also happened to Perry one time. You know how he always cusses and say crazy stuff? We in court, the judge is reading back the transcript and he's like, oh my God. Remember that, Perry?
Yep.
And
It's
it's
not a
like,
good look. It's not a good feeling, you know, and not that we was wrong about the principle of going to court, but my language I use make you lose credibility. Just
with
it
other
was just
people that ain't in
nasty.
the beef. And when I mean not in the beef, I'm not the chat, not the team Armon people, not the team Jason Lee. I'm talking about corporate people
Yeah.
looking at you and I'm telling somebody to suck my dick. That don't come across professional.
Mm-mm.
They're looking at you and they're seeing me and Perry go at it. Show your face, ho. Suck my dick and eat some raviolis. We had to read them transcripts back. Like, damn, I can't believe I said that. Suck my dick and make some raviolis. The crowd loved it.
Right.
But when I'm in a professional environment, I look ignorant.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, because somebody in the chat had said earlier, I just, you know, I haven't seen how we on this topic. They said, but this is YouTube, not corporate. When you become a blogger and you start to get paid,
it's corporate.
You would see it differently. And when you start missing out on opportunities,
it's corporate.
Then you would understand what we're talking about.
I don't understand why people don't get that. Armon is talented. I'm not taking that away from him. Jason is business connected. I'm not taking that away from him either. He's a self-made. Both of these men probably benefited by being together, but it broke apart, whatever the reason. But you don't know where you're going to be in your life at certain times. You might really, really need a favor.
Yeah, or
but
somebody
you can
that's
never go back
to
and ask
them.
Jason Lee for a favor because you blew that up. You burned the bridge. I'm just saying, nobody makes it by themselves.
Nobody.
I need someone to help me. You know, this and that and that. And if you just keep burning bridges and not having it, making everybody mad at you in high places, is not going to benefit you. That's all I'm saying. And I'm talking from experience. Everybody seen that tape. Everybody laughed. People were cheering me on. But what you don't know is I paid dearly for my foolishness.
Right. I'll just add this, Sharrell, real quick. I'll just add this real quick. This is just me and my moral code. Once I'm your friend, I don't care if we do fall out. I'm not telling none of the business that happened between us before that, like ever. I'm not going to ever go that low. It will never be that deep for me. I'm not going in my phone with the text. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling the secret business that you told me. I just wouldn't go there.
But Diva, they were never friends. They were business associates. And it came out that Jason Lee never really liked him to begin with. He was willing to help him because he needed information from Armon that would help him. They were never friends. Armon had only been to his house.
No, there's no friends in business. There's no
exactly.
Friends. But
right, but I'm saying Diva saying she wouldn't repeat something that a friend would tell her. And no, you shouldn't, but they weren't friends.
Lisa, sound off.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Sharrell, this is no secret that I know Armon very well, that we're friends.
No, I didn't
So
know
I
that.
can assure you this. He and Jason Lee were never friends. This was always strictly business. He has held his peace and he has done what he needed to do to get to the places that he was going. He's always been very, very appreciative publicly and privately of all of that. Because I've been listening the entire time. So it was not a case where Jason Lee got him somewhere and he never looked back, and he never said anything, and he never thanked him or anything. But I think people forget that Armon was already on the rise prior to Jason Lee, and he'll still be on the rise after Jason Lee. Jason Lee is a public bully, publicly bullies celebrities, privately bullies celebrities in order to get his way. He is a rampaging, I would say allegedly, because this is your channel, in my humble opinion, a rampaging, narcissistic bully. I would call him another few choice words if we were not on the air. So
But what does that have to do with?
At some point, the narcissist, the bully, at some point needs to get exposed. He tried to handle this privately multiple times. But
Lisa, do you agree that when you're fighting in public, it's not a good look?
Having had to fight narcissists publicly, sometimes you gotta.
So you think that it's okay to do that?
I think that there are times when it is okay to do that. I think there are times when things need to be exposed. I think there are times where you must do that.
So when I'm telling you from experience, you don't know who's watching you.
I've had the same experience.
Professional at all times. You think that's crazy?
I've had the same experience. I absolutely don't think that it's crazy. But I also know this, that those things that I may have lost in that moment, I've gained 10 times over and greater later on. Because I didn't give into and I didn't allow people to take my power away from me and continue to take my power away from me and do potentially even worse. That woman was trying to ruin you. That woman was trying to ruin you.
No, Lisa. And you're right. But it's never okay to make this public, say things that come back to haunt you. You don't know who's watching. And I don't think it's a bad thing, me telling Jason and Armon, not in public.
Listen, I wish that it could be that way, but Jason's made his money being public. Jason's made his money being disgusting in public.
And does that make it okay?
I didn't.
Just because Jason does something in public,
nobody's saying it's okay. I'm saying what it is. It's not always okay what it is, but sometimes what it is what it is. I never say never, because you never know what position you may be in that you have to take something public. That you have to. And I think that there are times that you have to. I too have lost. I have lost by taking things public. I have lost by taking things public in a corporate job. I have lost numerous times, but I tell you what, I've won. A, I have won my power. B, I have won my respect. And C, I can tell you I've been 10, 20 times more over blessed afterwards, because someone said,
we have probably teenagers watching this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to teach them better. This is not how you handle problems. I understand Armon was upset. I get it.
I said sometimes. I did not say all the time. I don't like particularly the beef sector. I'm be honest with you. I can't stand it. I think it's ridiculous. I think a lot of the public beef that goes on between female rappers, where we're pitting them against one another, is ridiculous.
It really is.
So it has to stop somewhere. See, so at least I'm hearing you, and you know, I always tread lightly with my words because I don't want to say something that, you know, pushes somebody in a certain direction. So I hear you and I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, I think sometimes, and I'm not saying you, people think because someone is saying something and doing something, you lost your power. I can't lose no power if I didn't give it away to anybody. So just because you out there talking about me acting a monkey knuckle or doing whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't mean that I lost power. It doesn't mean the only way for me to gain my respect is to come back at you the same way. Sometimes I have my superpower by not even addressing you, by ignoring you, and by not handling it the same way that you're handling it. If you don't keep putting fuel to the fire is going to burn out. So I get what you're saying, right? But for the most part, a lot of times, I'm not saying never, right? But a lot of times, people lose so much more by giving back that same energy that the other person is giving them. I've seen, and I'm not saying I'm the end all be all. I've seen in my lifetime, people reap what they sow. I can literally not even try to revenge or pay that person back, and I hear about it, find out about it, their time comes. All I'm saying is to the both of them, and I don't follow, and not just because I don't follow either one of them like that. But when something big happens, everybody gets drawn into it. So I got drawn into both sides. And like I said, I connected with a lot of what Armon was saying. I understand why he felt like enough was enough. But all I'm saying is, they said to whom much is given, much is required, right? I'm not going to blow up my opportunities and my platform trying to swat a fly while I'm driving my expensive car and maybe crash, okay? Because I want to swat this fly. Let that gnat run around. Open your windows. Let him fly out eventually. Ignore him. All I'm saying is that, yes, I don't think he should have thrown the first stone, but because you throw the first stone, that don't mean I got to throw one back. You put the cards on the table. I don't have to pick them up. So I think that you never know, unfortunately, especially sometimes for us, it is very hard for us to get certain opportunities. You never know who's watching, and you never know who could give you a certain opportunity. And sometimes they think to themselves, well, Dag, if you can't handle yourself in this situation, and we know that if we give you this opportunity, you may bump into 1,000 other situations, then I can't give you this opportunity no matter how much I like you, because I don't know if you're going to fly off the coop once something happens. So the way you handle things matters. Go ahead, Sharrell. I'm so sorry.
That's what I was trying to share with everybody, is that when you act like this in public, you pay the price. Okay, I get it. Armon lost his cool.
That was not Armon losing his cool. Can we just be real about that too?
Well,
I
let me
also
finish.
believe that was a measured response. At the end, did he get a little heated? Absolutely. And I understand what y'all are saying. We are in the same age group. Okay, I've seen the same things, but I want people to understand. I want you to understand. Yes, it is giving away your power, but you do not understand sometimes. I think you're not really grasping the depths to which, and the I'll say, for lack of a better word, evilness of some people, that when what it is they'll see someone that wants something, and they see someone that's willing to learn and willing to give and willing to do these things, and then therefore they will suck the life out of them. Before you know it, you've handed your power over to them unwillingly yet willingly. And so in both of the cases that has been brought up in regard to Armon, these are both energy vampires, both of them. And let's look and see where both of them have ended up. One owes $4 million because they've been proven to be a liar. And the other one has just been outed by Kanye as flexing and wearing too much Balenciaga and not doing enough media. So let's just be kind of real about where that is. Could Armon potentially lose something in the future? That is absolutely true. He could potentially lose something. But I hope that this is a different day where we understand that there are sometimes we got to take it to the street. I'm not saying all the time, because I don't take it to the street all the time either. But when it's
I'm kind of
necessary, I'm
confused
going to
because
take it to the street.
I have one thing to say.
One thing that maybe he felt a little disrespected, and that's what brought him out. Because if somebody has been supposed to be mentoring you, and then they disrespect you and talk to you like I said, like you owe them money or something, it's going to push you to do something like that. It's going to push you to say, to stand up for yourself.
And behind the scenes,
enough is enough. I'm not going to quietly sit back and watch this happen.
Right. And what you all
but that was just the beginning part.
What he said in public, let me just make this clear too. What he said in public on his live too was there had been phone calls made where his bag was trying to be stopped also. Behind the scenes, phone calls made to people to try to stop his bag. So at what point is enough enough? You're trying to get your bag.
I feel like you're not hearing me, Lisa. We understand that. But V, you were the one who told me this. Don't ever act like that in public again.
Right. But
you and Andrea sat me down and said, that's not cool. Now look what happened to you.
Right. But you can't take one situation and apply it to every situation.
Right.
You know?
So you think it's okay?
No, maybe in his case it was okay.
Right.
Okay.
Your situation is different, Sharrell. That's what I'm saying. Every situation is different because you have to remember with this Armon case, it had been going on for a long time. And it's a
I
lot of
cannot
different.
believe that you're saying that. When you drilled in my head, watch what you say in public, watch how you act. You don't have to burn bridges. You just told me this, that it's not good business sense to keep burning bridges.
Exactly.
I was like,
But
Armon,
I
I was
just
mad.
said also, I just said your situation was different than his.
You have a different brand, Sharrell. People didn't expect that to come from you. You have that would be like
People
me
didn't
coming
expect
on
what to
my
come
channel
from
and
you.
cussing somebody clean out. Nobody would expect that. None unless I say it was the cussing oracle. Then they'd expect it.
All right.
And then you got to
Y'all do
remember,
what y'all want.
Jason Lee was
I'm
going
done
after this
talking.
boy every day on his
Yes,
channel, which
you're right,
was
Autumn.
made it
You're right.
public.
And y'all let them fight each other to the death. It is what it is. I'm backing out. I'm done. I don't get it. I mean, I was just trying to share my experience. These two will never be friends, and it just is what it is.
Whatever happens, happens.
That's crazy. I have children watching. I have people watching. It for me. Now I'm just talking about for myself. It's always best to act professional. That's it. All right. Y'all done?
Yep.
Yep. Thank you, Sharrell, for having this conversation.
Thank
Well,
you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sharrell.
Bye-bye.
Oh God, I have still a long line. I'm tired.
Let me still going on with this.
Yeah, let's just end it here. It is.
It's heavy. It's heavy. You know what? I figured
people are crazy. You lost. I lost what?
What happened? You know what, Sharrell? See,
what did I lose?
You ain't lose nothing, Sharrell. Listen, Sharrell, you know, and we ain't gonna go through this online, but you know my personal situation, what happened to me. And I promise you, I took the high road.
You did.
And at the end of the day, the high road got me everything and everywhere. And it's not easy taking the higher road.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, oh my God, I just want to speak and shut these people up and say what I got to say. I want the world to know that I'm not wrong, that I'm right. But I just personally feel at the end of the day, people get back their karma. It comes to them.
About your personal situation, I was amazed about how much you held your composure.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, aren't you mad? And you say, yeah, I'm mad, but I'm not in control of this. I agree with that. I just feel that you can't have a whole bunch of people fist fighting because you mad. Let me go hit somebody upside the head. I'm mad. So let me just go on and entertain these 14,000 people because I'm mad. I just feel like you will always have a better reaction if you remember who you are and don't stoop to their level.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Perry, you got anything to say? You kind of quiet.
No, I was gonna say that. Both men. I don't really watch their shows like that, but I do. From time to time, I like both of them. But I just wish that it didn't have to happen publicly. I understand frustration. We have made that mistake, and that's where we were speaking from. Our mistakes we have made with not controlling our emotions. And people say, "Well, this person did this." I'm not saying who was right because you know what.
I felt like people wanted to fight who was right and who was wrong. And I'm
right.
just control your emotions. And then V tells them, go ahead and blow up.
But when two people fight, they could be fighting for two totally different reasons.
Yeah.
One on this side, he got his feelings about this and that other person. So I'm not saying who was right. And I was never in a room with those two when all these things came along. It's two sides to every story. I'm just simply saying that I wish both of them the best. But I just didn't want both of them have something to lose. Some people take it as you saying Armon got something to lose. They both do. It's called reputation.
Yeah.
Because people gonna look and say, "Well, I seen him fight with this other guy," or back and forth. Two men fighting online, and they can come with their own assumptions. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
It is what it is. That's crazy. I hope I never see it again. For me, I won't watch anymore. I'm done. Like anybody beefing on internet, I'm not going to watch it, especially if they're African American. I'm not going to partake in that kind of behavior because it has a tripling effect.
Well,
People
this
are
was
watching you.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
This was a heavy subject, but it's one that has to be dealt with because we deal with it every single day. Because every single day there's beasts on the internet. So that's not going to be the first or the last one. It will come over and over again. It's good to kind of talk about this kind of stuff to get it out there. And then maybe the next time people will handle things different. We don't know that, but it's just a heavy subject because it's something that's a part of internet and it's going to happen.
Yeah, over and over again. People just, I don't know. But do we see them acting like this on the internet?
Oh,
yeah. That's what we're seeing.
No, do we see other races acting like this on the internet?
Oh, I don't know.
They
Maybe
do.
if you go looking for it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just not watching all the channels. Yeah.
Just
I mean,
wondering.
being immature and, frustrations don't have a color line. I'm sure it's happening. You're just not watching it. Yeah.
Right.
All right, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just tired. I still have a long line. Should I try to take some really quick? I'm tired.
You gotta say bye today. We stretch that topic every way it can be stretched.
Yeah. All right, you guys. If I don't get to your call backstage, I'm sorry. I was just preaching to the choir. I'm tired, and people feel how they feel. I thought I could change some people's perspective. I can't. People are dug in, and they feel the way that they feel. I will always say again, it's just
not worth it.
It's not worth it for me, but it is what it is. All right, you guys, and we're out. Let's say bye on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.